This is Melissa Smith, author of Theory of Rebellion and soon to be many more books. And this is my theory, where I am vlogging about my experiences and my journey to become a professional author. Oh, I thought I was ready to make this video. Okay, so my first thing that I want to talk about is the paradigm shift. I already set up a sort of stepladder for my protagonist to grow as a character. And I think I'm going to start using a paradigm shift to push her up each step. I've also looked at different, well, I've always, but even more into certain types of character traits that can be positive and negative towards giving her a better understanding that leads to this paradigm shift. Most paradigm shifts, oh, most paradigm shifts I feel like should come from both the positive and the negative of an idea. So let's say toxic masculinity. You have, sorry about that. So toxic masculinity. You can also have positive masculinity. The traits that make up toxic and positive masculinity, can't talk, can be found in anyone. One man can have some of both. So by seeing certain parts of toxic masculinity in one person and the opposite in another person, she can learn to have an understanding by feeling out these people and actually thinking about how she feels. And that also comes with respecting people. I have recently had a reason to be somewhat fascinated with the idea of someone who gives the appearance of having a lot of compassion for people, but yet having absolutely no respect for who they are as an individual or what rights they have as an individual, like their feelings. A lot of people feel like you should just be happy because we all want to be happy. So change your mind and be happy instead of actually working through whatever problems you have, or just not putting on a goofy smile constantly all day. That can get annoying. That is toxic positivity. You ignore something enough, you just put pretty band-aids on things forever. You never really fix anything. You're just smiling for the sake of smiling. It's actually a sorry. You know what? I'm not going to apologize for my son playing in the background. If I don't do this now, I'm never going to do it. Because apparently I only make a video once a month. So, but yeah, the people will just throw band-aids on everything because for the sake of happiness instead of, actually disinfecting and getting stitches and all that stuff. Those things hurt, but they work. That they're for a reason. And sometimes you just gotta scream out your pain. Sometimes you gotta cry. I mean, it's not that everything's always gonna be happy and bubbly. And some people don't do well with happy and bubbly and are perfectly content. And that's another thing. Some people might have a problem with contentness instead of trying to live up to the expectations of being super happy. It used to like very much pain me to see because I knew that it was my expectation, but at the same time I didn't want it to be my expectation. So it's hard to work a job where people are going to get pissy at you because you're not living up to the expectation that they want you to. And I do technically work in um, services, human services, but it's not like retail or anything. So, like, if I'm not bubbly all the time constantly, because there are circumstances where in my job I can't be bubbly, but then to them I'm probably bubbly at times when I'm not supposed to be, and not bubbly at times that I should be. Yeah, I said that right. So, what's the next thing? Botany. I went from character traits and toxic being toxic to botany, because these people in my story that I'm writing about are not human, and it is science fiction. So I do need to explore the science part, and I was doing a tiny bit of editing and realized that this was one of those big details that I needed to work through, and so I did a little more research on botany, something that most people learn in like fourth grade. That I did learn in fourth grade, and that I taught fourth. I taught two fourth graders, but it's not one of those things that you use every day, so you forget about the different parts of the plant. That's not the stem and the root and the leaves. The stuff that you see and actually has an impact on you. But mostly, yeah, I have to write about some adult things, and I needed to know how to translate that into plants. So you can take that wherever you want to take it, because I'm probably taking it. And that has been my theory for the last month. I think that is most of my updates for my research into my book without telling too much. Um, the I should have my second book published by the end of the year. I am getting it self-published, which means I have to pay for it. And that is right now my biggest obstacle. If I simply had the money to give them, it would be published right now. Ready? I am very much trying to talk myself into doing a book reading like this, where I sit here and read the book to you in video form. And I am still confused or contemplating. Why can't I talk today? Um, Whether or not I'm going to do it just like this as the author reading it, or am I going to do some type of cool cosplay, which um, technically I could do, since the entire book is, well, not really, no. I'm still contemplating it. I don't know. So maybe you guys could tell me. Do you want me to do some type of weird cosplay? Not weird, because I think actual cool weirdness would be like true cosplay, but this is a cosplay of a normal teenage girl, not so normal teenage girl going to school. So, and then a rock star who's doing the exact same thing I'm doing right here. So, it's not going to be all that out there, and it probably should just start as a reading, because I haven't quite had the opportunity to figure out the video editing. And that's also another big hurdle I have right now. My computer has no memory for software. I'm trying to find like an extension for Google to do. I'm quite sure that I have found it, and there is one. I just have way too much going on in my life right now to totally devote myself to all of this stuff that has to do with writing, and not to do with writing, but having to do with writing, like making videos. So until next time, I'll see you later, and keep being fun.